Hey, if you're in Virginia Beach or Richmond and you want to buy a single ticket to our stand-up shows, you can do so now. Single tickets are now available in Virginia Beach and Richmond, and we'll see you on October 16th in San Jose, California. So I want you to remember this. The FDA expected to authorize new COVID boosters without data from the tests in people. Just to let you know where this is now. Just to let you know where this is. Usually it takes 10 years to get a vaccine. They got that one in 3 months. Now they're not even testing the boosters on people.
You know what I find, Jimmy, when I go, because whenever I do like black room, like not mostly white rooms, they all know all this. This is like.
So watch this. Fauci was on Colbert. He was trending today because of this appearance on Colbert where he's asked about ivermectin. Watch this.
Did ivermectin do anything?
No.
Okay. Humans do take it, but not for this purpose.
Right. It does not help with COVID, and it could be dangerous.
Okay.
So that's weird. And I like how Stephen Colbert how he flipped this. So the script was, for months and months, ivermectin is horse poison, and you're a moron if you take it. He said that. Everybody on television said that. Fauci said, everybody said that. And Stephen Colbert doesn't go, well, wait a minute. Why did we lie about ivermectin then for all those months?
He won't even let a joke happen. He's certainly going to do this.
Right. Is it like, watch
Did
it.
ivermectin do anything?
No.
Okay. Humans do take it, but not for this purpose.
So now so what Stephen Colbert just did there is called public relations for big pharma. So what he should have said, what I would have said in that situation, and what anybody with an ounce of self-respect would say, Stephen Colbert doesn't have any, what they would say is, well, if that's true, why did you guys bend over backwards and put yourself into a pretzel to lie about ivermectin? Because that's what they did. They lied about it. If that's true, why did you lie and make people think? So watch what he says. Watch
Did
this.
ivermectin do anything?
No.
Okay. Humans do take it, but not for this purpose.
Why did he have to say that? Why did Stephen Colbert have to tell everybody that humans do take ivermectin, but not for COVID-19? Why did he have to say that? Why did he have to say this is a human medicine? Because they'd all been saying it wasn't. All the people who get their money from Big Pharma had been lying at the behest of Big Pharma.
Did the CDC say it, like with a picture of a horse?
The FDA put out a thing that's saying you're not a horse.
Oh, it was a little snarky.
So just so you know about ivermectin, it was discovered in the late 70s. It is a pioneering drug originating solely from a single microorganism. It has had immeasurably beneficial impact in improving the lives and welfares of billions of people throughout the world. Not millions, billions of people's lives have been saved by ivermectin, and they made you think it was a fucking horse poison.
But can't it be dangerous?
And that's right.
How?
And Fauci says it's dangerous.
How?
It's one of the safest drugs in the history of drugs. So let's watch again.
Did ivermectin do anything?
No.
Okay. Humans do take it, but not for this purpose.
Right. It does not help with COVID, and it could be dangerous.
Okay. Hydroxychloroquine.
And it could be dangerous. See how he just says it? He just says it like that. It's been prescribed to billions of people. How dangerous is that drug, Dr. Fauci? Is it as dangerous as aspirin or less dangerous?
Is there any class action lawsuits like with your Tylenols and your every other one?
It was invented by this guy, and they won the Nobel Prize for it. So Stephen Colbert doesn't say, yeah, it's taken by... Do you see how he dismissed it? That's what a propagandist does, and that's what Stephen Colbert is.
He's talking to a priest. I mean, that's him being a good Catholic dipshit talking
that is
to
what
his
that
priest.
is.
But Father, should we?
So not only is it... So Stephen Colbert didn't say, well, not only do humans take it, it won the friggin' Nobel Prize for human medicine, and it's on the WHO list of essential medicines. But Fauci just made everybody watching that show think it was a dangerous medicine. He said so. He said it could be dangerous. It's on the WHO list of essential medicines. How dangerous is it? So that's Fauci doing propaganda, and that's Stephen Colbert, a paid propagandist. Their bills are paid by Pfizer, and that's what they're doing. They're lying to you. Anti-parasite drug ivermectin shows promise against cancer. Before COVID, they were calling ivermectin a wonder drug that could possibly treat cancer. That's what an amazing drug this was. And here, does this have, though, that the FDA gets 70% of their money from Big Pharma? Does that have something to do with this?
It could be lethal. Wait, did Fauci didn't mention it could be dangerous and even lethal?
Even lethal. So why did you guys have to lie about this so much? If ivermectin really didn't treat COVID-19, why did you guys lie about it? Why is basically the entire media lying about what ivermectin is and calling it a horse drug? Remember Rolling Stone did this? And then every news media did the same story. Gunshot victims are left waiting as horse dewormer overdoses overwhelm Oklahoma hospital.
Wait.
This is a picture from Oklahoma in August, and everyone's wearing winter jackets as they stand in line with gunshots.
Yeah, I was going to say the pretty casual gunshot vic. They must have a real gunshot problem there.
And everybody repeated that. The Hill repeated that because they're garbage funded by right-wing billionaires. Newsweek repeated it because they're garbage funded by right-wing billionaires. Here, I just don't really understand why seemingly real news outlets like Newsweek, New York Daily News, The Hill didn't bother to even look into this story before they pushed this narrative.
What?
Why do you think they didn't look into this story? Because they're funded by Big Pharma, and that's who they're They're not there to tell you the truth. They're there to manufacture consent for their fucking donors.
What does Drew Holden do? Is he a reporter? How does he not know that?
No, I mean he's ripping them.
Oh, okay.
He's saying they didn't even look into it. Didn't it sound odd to them? Wasn't it worth investigating? Maybe a single phone call? None of those outlets did that.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. They stopped doing that like years ago.
Here's Rachel Maddow tweeted out this story to her. She's got over 1 million followers on Twitter. She tweeted this out. This tweet's still up. That's still up. About patients overdosing on. So she's paid she's paid $100,000 a day by Big Pharma. Used to be 30 grand a day. Now she gets, I think, $100,000 a day.
Wow.
From Big Pharma, and that's why she lies like that. And they'll never take this down on Twitter because she's lying at the behest of Big Pharma. Oh, here's a guy from Ken Klipperstein from what do you think he takes to make his face puff up like that? Anyway, this is what he thought, right? So he's from The Intercept, right? So he works for another billionaire who's in a bed with that dirty war in Syria, lies a lot, and all that shit. They try to smear Julian. All right. So that's who he works for. And this is what he said. Vaccines should not be voluntary, but y'all aren't ready to. So he
Stop saying y'all, you prick.
So he's for authoritarian fascism.
They
and
threw
wants
a y'all in there to make
I
it
know.
folksy as piece of. Oh my god.
So one day, I ran into this myself. So one day, why do I bring him up? Because one day I tweeted this out. This is from the NIH website. And it was about 19 studies that they had done on COVID, on ivermectin. And I just tweeted it out. I'm like, isn't this interesting? It's at the NIH website. And it's about the use of ivermectin. That guy, Ken Klipperstein from The Intercept, retweets me and says Jimmy Dore is a horse dewormer med guy now.
Oh, y'all ain't ready to talk to Jimmy.
So he knows he's lying.
Yeah.
So, but he knew also that nobody on Twitter knew he was lying because everybody just follows people like The Intercept or MSNBC or CNN or the New York Times or the Washington Post. And they're all owned by Big Pharma and they all lie. So so this tweet, by the way, got like 10,000 likes.
Couldn't they just read the thing from the actual thing?
Well, that's a good point, Kurt. Kurt, guess what I did?
Yeah.
I tweeted this out. I said, I don't know what's going on here, but I tweeted out an article of 18 studies from the NIH, the National Institute of Health. Not my opinion. Ivermectin is for humans. I get mine at Walgreens.
Oh, that's why they passed that law to crack
People
down.
being anti-science to dunk on me is a very weird trend. And I circled it that this thing I tweeted out is from the NIH. And he's calling it a horse. So that's the world we are living in. That people can blatantly lie doing unpaid propaganda for Big Pharma, which is what he's doing. To try to dunk, he's being anti-science on purpose, doing lying propaganda at the behest of Big Pharma and the establishment to dunk on me. It's right there. And no one gave a shit that you see. how propaganda works? Do you see what it was like? Oh, we're owning the Trumpers. That's what they thought they were doing. No, you were being owned by Big Pharma and propagandists like Ken Klipperstein. You're being owned by big Pharma propagandists and guys who are willful liars like Ken Klipperstein. And the same people who purport to be concerned about misinformation and how it spreads on platforms like Twitter will surely be silent about this ivermectin thing. Where's the gnashing of the teeth from the disinformation reporters? Where are the Twitter content warnings? Where's the outrage? There isn't any,
Well,
because
it's up
they're
to
lying
Elon
at,
Musk to find him.
because they're lying at the behest of Big Pharma.
Yeah, right.
You won't hear any, because this is the acceptable type of political lie that Ken Klipperstein and everybody in mainstream media tells. And none of these people or outlets will learn anything, and they'll keep doing this. They're still doing it because they care more about scoring cheap dunks on their opponents than getting the truth. Of course, that's why they can't. That's why the Intercept can't tell you the truth about Syria or the gas attacks. That's why Ryan Grimm and Ken Klipperstein have to pretend and lie about Russiagate. Because they can't tell you the truth because they're owned by billionaires and they're owned by Big Pharma, and they have to lie to you at the behest of the establishment. And that's where we're at. So that's why Fauci was trending yesterday, because he went on, or today, because he went on that and he said that about ivermectin. And why did they lie about ivermectin at the top of their lungs like that? A Nobel Prize winning medicine that's on the WHO list of essential medicines, that was considered a wonder drug. Why would they lie about ivermectin, saying it was not a human medicine, it was a horse poison? Why? On the off chance that ivermectin could treat COVID-19, they couldn't get their emergency use authorization for the vaccines, and then Big Pharma would have lost $200 billion. And $200 billion is enough money to buy everybody in the government, local and state and federal, and everybody in corporate media.
And probably some water and garbage service in
That's
Jackson,
right.
Mississippi.
That's how much $200 billion are. And that's why they lied about ivermectin. And a lot of people still do it to this day. Rachel Maddow still has that tweet up.
Yeah, well, now they're like, what are you still talking about that? I already decided I would never learn about that.
That's right.
And you're still... So it passes the time when you...
So isn't it weird that and Stephen Colbert didn't say, so it is for humans? Well, why did they lie about that? It wasn't for humans for so long. Why did they do that? Why did the FDA tweet out, hey, y'all, you're not a whore? Why did they do that?
Why do they keep
Stephen
saying
Colbert
y'all?
never brings this up. Isn't that weird that Stephen Colbert never brings this up?
Well, I've seen his other works, so no.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
a pretty part
Okay.
of the doors.
We're doing stand-up comedy in Virginia Beach, Richmond, Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, San Jose, California, Miami, Florida, West Palm Beach, Denver, Palm Springs, Austin, Texas. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets. And while you're there, join our premium program. You get to see my new stand-up special coming out.